The champ is here. Hey guys.
Wait a minute. What you talking about, nigga?
Oh, wait a minute.
Let's go.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't let me get this hookah lighted. Let me light the hookah up right quick. Y'all like it.
Oh man.
So look here, man. Oh, that's how you feel, Brandon? That's how you feel.
Yeah, it's like that. It's It's really real right about now.
Okay.
What you talking about, son?
Let me go get my notepad. Hold on.
Look, this is the We Just Chilling podcast, dog. What you talking about?
Let me go get my. You know I gotta get my notepad. Let me go get my notepad. You know what time it is. Hold on.
We just chilling and working.
You can do both.
Man, I'm like, we on all of it, man. I'm like, it is what it is at this point.
I am recording, but welcome to the We Just Chilling podcast. We got Key Goss. We got King D. Jones. We out there getting some stuff.
Yeah, man, we just chilling. You know how it is. I'm working and chilling. I ain't doing no tripping about
You know
anything.
you making good money. You know out there good money. You get talk with the boys.
we get paid to talk, man. Top it up about anything and everything, man. It's all limits at this point. It is what it is.
All right. Are we recording yet or no?
Yeah, we recording. We live.
We recorded. We live, son. I've been recording.
Wait. Well, you didn't even hit it. We didn't even hit it. I didn't hear the intro song. I gotta hear my intro, dog.
Bro, I'm dropping. Wait, look.
Listen.
We just gonna play a little something.
Nah, you gotta play the jam. Closer to my dreams, dog. That get me hyped up for the show. What you mean?
I got you.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Oh man, that's it. Turn it up.
Is somebody in the kitchen? That's what that sounds like.
Somebody working.
Nah, yeah, I'm at work. Turn up stuff.
Is that the Drake version?
Yeah, I lost what you gave me. That was for you.
That's not the version I like.
I'm gonna get something downloaded. We get to it.
I like Galope. I don't know how you say her name. I'd be saying it wrong, but I like her version the best.
Oh man, I need to get back on my music game, boy. Half of these folks, I don't even know who they is now.
Oh man, that song was old, bro. But her music be jamming. All right, so look, fellas.
Yeah.
This is your boy, aka D Jones, the King. I'm live up in the building. Next, we got our super host, the man of the most, Mr. Brandon King. The Darius Bell.
Hey man, you already know how it is, baby.
And then we got a guest host today with us, Mr. Keandre Goss.
What's happening?
We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna be live in the building. All right. So today we have a very interesting subject. Hey Brandon, this is what I asked you to do about posting the meeting stuff on Facebook.
Let me see what we gotta do.
If you didn't, just let me see if I can get it. I want to get a woman's point of view of how this stuff feels, so we can understand.
I'll post it. Least I can do.
All right. So we're gonna make it happen, man. We're gonna make it happen, Captain. So look, man, today's show, like always, is gonna be about having a good time. You know, we just chilling. That's the name of it. We're not trying to hit no specific audience, but we are in the sense of when we have a show, that day is drawn towards that specific audience. So for right now, we're trying to understand why us as men objectify women. That's a big.
You asked this question. Let me ask you this: what is your definition of objectify?
To treat as an object. Oh, you know your boy wouldn't have did some research. You know I ain't finna get up on here looking like no fool. So to treat like an object, that's literally what it is. To treat a woman as an object is to objectify a woman. And that's something that a lot of us have done or still do.
But also understand, it is both ways.
No, exactly. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Let's get to talking about gray sweatpants.
You Petty
Not the
McPhee.
sweatpants.
Petty McPhee.
You got gray sweatpants on? What you trying to do? Okay.
Oh, Mr. Petty McPhee over here, ready to start already. We ain't even getting the show good 10 minutes yet.
Well, with your definition, I also got something down. Objectify, to stare, to gawk, or to check out women/men and their body parts, to see them as objects instead of real people, and to think of them in a sexual way.
Oh, yes, men are definitely guilty of that. Men been doing that as long as men been on this planet.
Always. It's definitely the predator instinct. You see something you want, you definitely want to go.
Right.
Paint it.
Listen. So, this is how I'm gonna do this. I have a few notes here. So we're gonna look at it from. I'm really simple, man. We only have 3 bullet points. All right. So historically, men have been like this.
Right.
Men have always been like this. I'm not saying that it's right. Hear me when I say this. It's not saying that it's right because we've been doing it, but have been allowed to do this for so long. It is embedded into who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is men generally, not just men, but we as humans pass down what have been done and taught to us over and over again. So what that means is, hey, I got my granddaddy. My granddaddy got my uncles and my daddy them, and my uncles and my daddy them teach me the same thing.
Right.
So it becomes a generational thing. It's no more of just, just some wild guess or some wild theory. It's an actuality. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
So historically, men have been doing this. If you look at it from, royalties and different, societies, when a woman reaches a certain age, she only good for having babies. And once she get too old, we don't need her no more. She can't have no babies. That's what men was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I hate to say it, but that's mostly why men do it.
Yep. And I when I was doing my research, I found an article and I found some what I would call like bullshit responses that men will say, and there's about 7 of them.
Hey, listen, I have one request. So my mom's like, she said she want to subscribe, but she can't subscribe to us cussing her out. So we got to figure out a way to not cuss her out.
But Mama, we sailors.
Okay,
Okay, I apologize. I'll try to do better.
I told her, we're not cussing you out.
But I am drinking, so.
Praise
Okay,
the Lord.
we're gonna hold it. I'm gonna keep mine to a bare minimum. I might cut loose one time.
Okay, but here's some male responses that I feel that would have been said or can't be said. It's biology. It's because you want to have sex. It's because I'm a guy. I'm an animal and I'm supposed to want to have sex and approach and, be a predator towards the female. I'm just horny. It's normal male behavior because apparently in society we make it a norm. I don't objectify women. There are some, and that's what I got.
So
in responses that males was.
Keandre, it's on you, man. What you got to say before I talk? Because I talk. You know me. I'm going to go. I'm going to let you go.
First of all, I have to agree with both points that have been made. And we really come out strong, man, with how we do treat women. And given that we have all come from women, I honestly believe that we should be better than where we are. Our excuses, man, they stink. Point blank period, man. Our excuses stink. So, yeah, man, I'm interested in getting to the bottom of this because that topic, it came across because somebody posed that question. I'm like, man, I honestly believe it was simply because we've been trained to be that way. I don't think there's no other explanation for it. So let's get to it.
And I think, that's feeding the cycle. And the only way to break that cycle is to stop teaching those bad habits.
So how do we get to that point? Because I've noticed this is a problem. So
as men, when we have our sons, that's why men in general, why I want to coach and be there in kids' lives so I can guide them and show them like that's not how you're supposed to do it. I mean, you'll see people joking like, "Hey, son, go touch her ass. Ooh, son, go do this." But we can't do that no more. We got to teach them how to actually treat and stop beating this same repetitive cycle of us abusing. What am I trying to say? Repetitive cycle of
Where we
us
come
treating
from.
women like that.
Yeah, that's where we come from. So, yeah, and plus I got a daughter too, so this is something that really
It hits
I
you
think
differently, and that's when most
Yeah,
dudes start to change.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, at that point, I'm like, my G, I got these ARs and I got these Glocks and I got, just in case I got to jump out of somebody's bushes one time.
I ain't even got no daughters and I got them bad boys. So that let you know my mind already ready. Listen, sir, ma'am, listen. I am ready for whatever happens. Okay.
Yeah.
But so we got to look at it from. I also did some thinking about it. So you got a couple of things. Like culturally, certain cultures don't do women like that, and certain cultures do. So it's also a cultural thing. Some cultures allow men to treat women that way, and other cultures are like, no, women are better than me. You know what I'm saying? Some cultures believe in empower women, some don't. Like from what I experienced when I was in the Navy, so like some of those guys who were coming from like the foreign nationals or whatnot, some of them come in, their wives ain't allowed to talk to us, they ain't even allowed to look at us, they ain't allowed to breathe around us. Like I can take care of the husband and the kids, but that wife I can't even nothing to do with her. Period.
Mm-hmm.
So that lets you know like it wasn't out of love, it's out of an object. That's just what they like. That's just what their belief is. And I can't say, hey, it's right or wrong, but from an American culture standpoint, it's in our culture we want women are wanted to be treated as equals as men. So if that's the case, we need to learn how to treat them accordingly. Granted, to an extent, men and women are equal. To an extent, they're not. I'm sorry. Women's biological makeup is totally different from ours. So to an extent, we can be the same, but at a certain point, it's like we can't be the same. Y'all can have babies, we can't. Y'all have menstruals, we don't. Y'all got menopause, we don't. There's a lot that's different between us. So
yeah, we don't have menopause. We just get
you see
fed
me
up.
sipping my tea for that one,
right? And I'm not saying. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with women being women. Actually, I wish more women would enjoy being a woman. Some women just hate the fact that, you opening the door for me. I like I'm helpless. Who the hell said that? Ma'am. So
and see, now that you say that, I don't mean to cut you off. And like, now that you say that, it brings in a point. So I'm like, we want women to enjoy being women. We want women to want to be women. And then the problem with women at this point in time is we're not supposed to speak on, we're not supposed to speak on exactly what it means to be a woman in our view, because that is a form of objectifying. So I'm like, man, if I can't say how I think a woman should be, then you're telling me I'm not allowed to have a preference on what type of woman I want.
Right. But you can tell us, hey, I want a man that's 6'3". I want a man to be 215, 6'3". I want him to have this bank account like this. He better be able to pay all these bills. So I don't like that, but it comes down to the fact that we objectify each other. The difference is men get called out more than women do about that whole concept.
There's always double standards.
Right. That's why when they say they want to be equals, we will never be equal as long as there's an existence of a double standard. We can never be equal. Never.
Yes.
We can never be equal until there's no longer a double standard. And it's not just that, we understand what value means. So when I say value, it's like you got to understand who you are and what your worth is. Men and women. Once you understand who your worth is and you understand your worth, you look at other people and say, hey man, you worth more than this. So what happens is inadvertently, people start to treating people as they are worth. No longer just because I feel like you're an object. No. You're worth more than that. You are a woman. To me, I do. Don't get me wrong. I am guilty of objectifying women, but I'm one of those people that say, listen, I'm wrong, but I got to do better. So when I look at women as a flower. And a lot of people like, well, that makes no sense. But I look at women as a flower. Why do I say a flower? Because flowers are beautiful, especially when they are grounded in the right soil, when they've been taken care of,
properly nurtured.
what? When everything is how it's
That's
supposed to be, that is the most beautiful thing. Women are essentially women are the same. Women can be the most beautiful things on this planet. When I say things, I mean women, beings, whatever y'all want to be called. I'm not trying to offend nobody. I'm just trying to tell you how I feel about you. So women watching, don't get offended. When a woman is at that point where she's so beautified to where she walks, like her whole being becomes beautiful. Not just her smile, not just her body, but her whole being.
Her
So when right, so her speech changes, her walk changes, like everything about her, when she starts nourishing herself. And that's the most beautiful form of a woman, at least for me. Okay, that's why I use the flower for an example.
I'm tired of y'all niggas in relationships over here seeing I'm all happy and shit.
But no, the thing is though, bro, the thing is about this. He's talking about this flower, but we have to understand that there are some beautiful flowers in this world that thrive on your blood and they're poisons.
And
so we have to look at them objectively.
Yes,
we have to look at them objectively.
You got to pick which one you want to be bothered with. So, like a rose. A rose has thorns. Why does she have thorns? Because she don't want to just want any old body touching her. So you just can't go up there and grab it. You got to be the right man to understand how to get her. You can't just go over there and be like, give me this. You go over there and do like that if you want to. Oh, yeah. So that's to me, that is the symbolism of a woman who's strong and independent. Not to the extent where she doesn't want to be loved, but she wants somebody to love her the right way. So you can't come over there talking to her any kind of way. You can't come down talking to her. You can't try to do all this male misogynistic stuff, what a lot of us do. You have to be like, hey, listen, you're a beautiful queen. I would like to get to know you if you don't mind. Instead of, hey, shawty, give me them digits, be so-and-so, so-and-so.
Yeah.
When you get stung, don't look at her and be like, I can't believe she stung me. And then Mr. Joe Schmo over here, don't hear that. Swoop her up and walk away. I can't believe he just did that. Yeah. Because he sat down and did what he had to do.
Yeah.
So, but I think objectification comes from, I just made that up, I think. Objectification comes from the personal point of view. So
if you made that up, we're going to have to write that down and patent it.
I don't even know if that's a real word, but I feel like I just made it up.
It's recorded. It's cool.
We'll figure it out. We got the patent for anybody trying to steal that word at this point.
So objectivity becomes a personal thing at that point. So we understand where it comes from historically. We understand that it has cultural points, but then it still breaks down to personally. You as a man have to look at it and say, am I doing this the right way or not? That's all it is, man. It's no more blaming daddy and them. Like, man, at a certain point, you your own man, dude. You're your own man. Just like the women. You your own woman. At a certain point, it's up to you. You got to choose to do better. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where the issue comes in when it comes to being objectified. It's no one is doing this part of saying, hey, you know what? I need to get better. So there's a young lady over here at the Dollar General down the street from the house. When you walk in the door, you know she say, good morning, King. Good morning, Queen. I said, I look forward to walking in that dollar store because I like to hear that. Walking that door.
Well, that's the one.
Walk to that. Me and my lady walked in there. She, good morning, King. Good morning, Queen. I said, wow. Yes, I love it. I love it.
I'm loving that trend that's happening right now. I don't want to call it a trend, but since it's not widely accepted right now, the fact that this happening, and we're no longer calling each other, you know what I'm saying, the N-word, and whatever else, the fact that we seeing each other is something other than what we were given as a derogatory name.
Right.
And we're starting to get to a point where we really are not seeing each other as an enemy anymore. We're seeing each other as, a unit. And maybe that's why this conversation even popped up, because we don't want to objectify these women.
Right.
If we hear from our black sisters that they're unprotected by us. And I don't never want them. I got these sisters, I got my mama and grandmama, and they know me. I'm backwoods deep, and we'll go to war. Like I told you, I'll be in your bushes, I'll be under your bed when you get there. I'm not playing with you. But at the same time, how do we get past something that was bestowed upon us or we picked up along the way by trying to be something that we're not? We got to understand, we don't even know who we are culturally. We don't know who we are by heritage. We don't have any of that historical lineage that we can refer back to as to how we were prior to colonization, whether we were here at some point in time, where we come from, one of the various countries in Africa, or we come wherever else we come from in the world. We don't know who we are, so we don't know how we're supposed to be in order to build a successful family unit or a successful cultural relation.
Right. Yeah, I find that interesting from the point of so of course I grew up in church. I've been reading the Bible and all other good stuff. And growing up, like now I look at it and I say to myself, it's so funny how no matter how much people try to hide it, you can't hide the truth. All you got to do is look. So one of the things that I find interesting in the Bible is the Bible says when a man findeth a woman, he finds a good thing, right? And then the Bible also says that when a man when a man has a woman and he treats her right, he has favor with God. Well, it's not that way, but it's in essence, a woman is God. A woman is man's favor with God. In other words, if you treating her right, you're gonna be good to go. But the moment you treat her wrong, your life gonna follow suit. So I sit and I think about it. I say, so women are much more than what they believe they are, because obviously they've been hiding it from you. When you go look at it, a lot of the stuff when it comes to marriages and relationships, even in the Bible and other books and stuff, they always say sometimes once the woman recognizes who she is, she don't even fuss with the man no more. Hey man, listen, you do what you want to do. I'm gonna leave it to God. He gonna fix it. And it's crazy how that sound when I see women who don't believe in God or whatever, and they say those same exact words, but not saying that God gonna handle it. But I'm gonna let you do what you want to do. They let their husbands go out there and be a fool, and then he come back all beat up and hurt, and she look at him and say, "Didn't I tell you don't do that?" Yes, you was right. So it's like the biggest thing is we have to recognize who we are, like you said. If we don't recognize who we are, this objectivity stuff ain't going nowhere
at all.
It's not going nowhere until we as a people start understanding that. We as a people, it got to become a personal thing, because on a grand scale, it's gonna be hard to take. But if we make it a individualized thing, like the cells in the body, if each cell has a job and they do it, it makes it prosperous. But if all the cells don't do their job, your body gonna fall down. That's just literally where we are right now. Every cell needs to find their purpose. So as a person, you got to sit back and say, all right, let me see what I got to do to stop objectifying women, to stop making my women look bad. As a black man, I can say it that way. I say it this way. As a black man in our world, our women are only good for making babies. Our women are good for being naked in videos. Our women are good for starting trends. Our women are good for empowering other women, but our women are not good just for us.
What this is here.
You know what?
They don't let us.
But before that, at the same time, as a black man and as a man in general, you have to be comfortable with who you are and what you're trying to get before you can. If you don't, it's going to be being a hindrance. I don't want to say the word parasitic in the relationship or whatever that you're going to be doing. Like, you can't not object. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but if you're not good with yourself, how you expect to be good for somebody else?
Oh, wait a minute. That's another topic, sir. You want to
hold on.
You want to go that way?
We done had 5 topics come out in the last 2 minutes. So hold on.
The whole point is dialogue.
Listen.
There's so many men who aren't comfortable with who they are and who are just trying to, be cool, be whatever. Once you become comfortable in your body, become comfortable who you are, then you can start seeing that's where we at right now. We comfortable. We like who we are. We love who we are. We love where we're going. And we're out of that stick in your box. We outside the box now and seeing what's wrong.
So I say it this way. I understand we've had different topics, but the topics are still connected. So what I mean by that is, if we got to see it from the point of the reasons why we objectify people, and now it has to be a personal responsibility to change the way we think. And then that for you to change the way you think, it has to be something on a personal level where you as the person have to change the way you think. Mm-hmm. So you can't change everybody. So that's why I was bringing up the fact that our women are objectified by everything, even us. Like we put them in these music videos, we give them this fame this way, but it's like, do we as men, how do we praise the woman who does see herself as more than just a music video girl? Like if a woman is a business owner with the suit on and she comes up to you and shake your hand with a strong, demeanor and attitude, do you say, oh damn, she's so hard? Or do you say, well, I'd like to see a black queen walking in her calling?
If you comfortable,
You know what I'm saying?
you comfortable, you're gonna say that.
Oh, wait a minute.
If you a real man, you're gonna say that.
Wait a minute.
But if I'm gonna use this term, but if you're a beta, you're gonna be terrified of that. You can't deal with a successful woman. You don't like a woman who's successful, who's doing better in life.
I ain't got no
That's
tea.
another topic.
I ain't got no tea. Hey, listen, it's still connected because so that's why I said historically we know where it comes from. Culturally, we know where it comes from. Personally, where does it come from? You know what I'm saying? So you got to look in yourself to figure out, why are you objectifying these women? What is it that keeps you doing this?
Outside influence. That's definitely coming from outside influence. I was having a conversation the other day. Y'all was having a conversation the other day, and we were talking about the same video stuff. And as I looked, I said, now I remember back when we was in elementary, middle school, and remember when Destiny's Child came out with that video and they were talking about they wanted what was it? If the status ain't good, I ain't tripping because you better be street. That little song, I Need a Soldier. That's what it was.
Oh yeah,
and,
yeah.
And you go and look at when Missy Elliott and Eve had this song Hot Boy. You got to look at all of these songs from all these beautiful women that we looked up to. We looked at them and like, this is what I want to model my woman out.
No scrubs.
No scrubs. Okay, so this is our criteria. Okay, in order for us, because this is we're impressionable minds one time with kids. So when you look at this and you see these beautiful women and they laying out their criteria, this is what they want. But in your mind, you're automatically assuming in order to get a woman of that caliber, this is what you have to be. So
money, cars,
clothes, and a bunch of women that want you. How do you get there? Well, they already told you. You got to be street. You got to be hood. You got to dress this way. You got to have these goals in your mouth. You got to have these big chains with these cars, so forth and so on. And you have to leave who you are as an individual behind, because no woman really wants you as an individual. She wants on the side of who you are.
That's interesting you said that, because as I sit here and listen to it, I'm envisioning, all right, so Destiny's Child, I'm envisioning that, right? If you ever paid attention to the evolution as a group and as women, they evolutionized from saying that. I don't know if you paid attention to that. They became, they changed how they did those things. You know what I'm saying? They sing different type of, they sing songs still, but they sing it a different manner now. Now it's like, hey, I want me a man that's going to be with me to the end. I want somebody that's going to love me. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can tell, like, their phases in life, their phases in life affected ours. Because growing up, that's what we was listening to.
But see, that's the same phases in life. Now look, right. I'm gonna bring up my favorite rapper. As you see, I'm repping the gear, J. Cole.
Okay. Problem time.
You can see the change from his mixtapes to where he is at now. In the beginning, he was trying to conform to whatever the industry wanted: jewelry, watches, cars, boom, because that's what he thought was needed to be popping. Then you shortly see. Then you shortly see after, like, he starts coming into his own.
Okay, I'll say it like this.
Because workout Cole is different from I want that real love, dark skin and Viv love. It's different.
No. I'll say this. I'll say it like this. So a lot of I liken his style. Well, not style, but his journey to Andre 3000's journey. That's my favorite rapper.
I love Andre.
I don't care how nobody feel. No, he ain't got the album sales and all of the crap. Yes, he was always with Outkast, but he's still a great rapper and a straight lyricist. I don't care how nobody feels. But anyways, what I'm saying is Andre was lit. If I listen to this man, it's like every album, this man was almost every song, he was always spitting about something that was real. So when I say that is, J. Cole was always talking about real stuff the whole time.
Right.
But his delivery, he was trying to find a delivery. He was fighting with the industry and he was trying to stay himself. and that's those albums in the middle. Cause like he's trying to his mixtape, you can hear him being himself on the mixtape, but on the album it's like I hear you want to be yourself, but you can't do it because that ain't gonna make no money.
Like you see workout, then you see I want to fold clothes for you,
right?
Make you feel good.
You can go back to Forest Hill Drives. You can go. You can go. You can keep going if you want to, but my point is like you can tell his journey. So what it is you see him talk about how he was going through the same thing with objectifying women. You get what I'm saying? And like you said, once you waking up who you are and to realize, it's a woman. I always believed that I never agreed to how men would treat women. It's talking to them any kind of way in front of dudes. Like if you married to this woman, you should never ever raise your voice in front of her, at her in front of anybody. And the house was just y'all two. Y'all can yell and scream all you want to, but you don't ever embarrass your wife in front of another man or in front of other women. Don't you ever do that. I've never been fond of that. I grew up in church, so I've seen it a couple times. I've seen some stuff growing up in church. So my mind was like, I'd never do that to my wife because I see you're not treating her as your. So once again, from the Bible standpoint, everybody got a different view. I use the Bible, not saying it's all the way right, but some principles in there stand assured. So when you get married, it's supposed to be a help me. When you get a relationship, it's supposed to be a help me. When you even become friends, it's supposed to be a help me, which means you guys are a team. You're never somebody who's dominating over the other person. So a lot of men,
that we need.
Right, and so many men you see they in that toxic mindset, like they have to dominate. I'm the alpha. I have to be in control. I have to,
you dominate. You dominate in the boxing ring. You dominate in the weight room. You don't dominate your family. You don't dominate your woman. You don't dominate the people around. That's not what you do. And people have this mindset of the alpha male means to be dominator. It's not true. If you ever look at, yes. Oh, she knocked in the window. I don't know. Yes.
Hey, Queen. How you doing?
Hello. How you doing?
She's saying I'm loud. I'm out here.
It's a headphone.
That's why I came outside.
Look, we talking about let us be.
Hey, we might need the queen perspective one time because maybe we got a bunch of we don't want to become toxic. We want to be able to get all these perspectives and find out how to get to the bottom of the situation.
Right. That's why I said post it on Facebook so people can call in or whatever.
I shared the link, but I mean it is 1:00 in the afternoon. Most people have jobs.
Yeah. Well, not me.
And you see how I'm getting down. It is this way.
Hey, what's the meeting number? I'm gonna get somebody to call.
Go check my Facebook, man. The meeting number? Well, I'll tell you. The meeting ID is 787-2683-4316.
No, what I'm saying is it's a number usually attached.
499282.
Okay, there you go.
It's long. That's it. That ain't long enough to do the number. Let me go on Facebook and see.
I don't know what to tell you about
it. Hey man, listen. Let me get off track for like a half a second. Somebody posted a picture, right? And it was a funeral picture of Kite with Pito from Hunter x Hunter. She was smiling like yeah. And then there's another picture on the bottom of it of Pito dead. And then you got Goss sitting there like yeah. I was like, oh, that's awesome. So he beat her to death. He ain't waste no time.
Excuse a little anime subsert,
Yeah, I had to do it. It's funny how that went. Sorry.
Like what you're saying is like how to fix, how to get out of this mindset, and it's up for us men who are out of it to teach our younger generation. I mean, that's really the way I can see it.
See, because I thought about this, and it was like just backing up to the songs, the criteria for a second. And I thought about something. I said, dude, we were seriously risking our lives. Because you know me from high school, bro. We were seriously risking our lives and freedom for sex. Because at one point we were broke, struggling, trying to come up and we found this way, but along the way you lose your path. And a lot of other tragic stuff happens in between that changes who you are on a molecular level. Because you go from being a happy kid to somebody that's looking over your shoulder. You know, where when I was at ECBU, I had came back and I was on the phone with George Edley one time. And we were trying to, figure out a situation about a party and all that. I brought a couple other college buddies with me. He brought some down. And while I'm on the phone with him, about 10 shots flew over my head. And I wasn't scared about that at all. It didn't faze me. It didn't bother me. And when I thought about that, a couple years later, I said, dude, I had turned into something else that really scared me because I had no regard to my life after becoming something that I believe was going to have women attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point in time, men would do anything to have a woman. Would do anything to have somebody that makes us feel human again. The truth be told, after everything that's going on in this country, from the past 200, 300, 600 years, whatever, it has changed who we are. There's no time for sorrow. There's no time for, to feel sorry for yourself, to think about how in danger your life or how in danger anybody's life are. You never get a time to stop. It's trauma after trauma. So we have to fix our trauma individually. Figure out who we are as people without any outside influence.
And that's the hard, and that's definitely the hard part. Being a black, having a comfort zone where you can go talk. We don't have that. We don't have the go-to to feel better. Women, they have their girlfriends. Girl, let me tell you what he did. Girl, let me tell you what am I gonna do. We don't do that. I mean, we'll try to keep it positive with our boys, but we don't want nobody to know that we hurt it on the inside. What's going on in our mind and what put us in these type of situations. We got to be more open to trying to heal ourselves.
So you think the lack of healing emotionally and for men is incorporated with us being objectifiers?
I do definitely think that is a big part.
Yep.
Look at me making up
words.
A lot of our hurt. I made two words.
Write them down. I just caught on to them. Write them down. But I think that we may predict that situation due to a lot of our hurt might have come from women. I think some of our biggest prideful issues, heartbreaks, whatever, we never had an opportunity to express it. So a lot of this stuff is harbored on the inside. And if I've had this same kind of category of lineup of this particular type of women, and no matter how many times I tried to switch it over, the same situation started happening. Eventually, that's probably how I'm going to wind up treating every woman that seems to be in that category. I have no regards at that point. I'm like, man, I know what all your kind are about. It's the same way they'll treat me. It's like, oh, we know what you're about. You ain't this, you ain't that. And at the same time, I'm like, I ain't telling you what you ain't. I'm telling you what you are. This is what I don't experience. And we have to be able to heal from those experiences in order to give the other one an opportunity and become better hosts for our situation. We have to be able to pick and choose what's healthy for us and what's not healthy for us. And that all starts with us figuring out who we are as business.
Yeah, I think, like you said, the trauma that we go through is not attributed per se to women, but what's the word? Oh my God.
Life.
No. Oh my God, I can't think of the word, but it's the way where you put it on other people. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, projecting. Yeah,
you're projecting that on me. You're projecting that on the women.
Well, no, we talking about a small part. If I did say I've drank so many Red Bulls. Say I drank 5 Red Bulls. And this particular type of Red Bull that just messes me up every time. It either gives me chills or it makes me sick. It does something like this. So I swap over to another kind of Red Bull. And this Red Bull does pretty much the same thing. So eventually, I'm just going to be like, all these Red Bulls nasty. When it just might have been the particular Red Bull I picked up and not the whole batch.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
we
Like
have to be able to,
we put it all on everybody else, and it's not the case.
Let's make sure we're right. You know, women, y'all got to stop doing that too. Okay, all men ain't dogs.
yeah. But look, before the hounds, look, hold on,
Hold on.
before the hounds come at us, we taking full accountability for ourselves right now. We
Without
gonna
a
try
doubt.
our best to leave y'all out of this.
Right. We as men, the world is very unforgiving towards men. I'll say that. And it's even more unforgiving towards men of color. And I think it's more from our point of view of being in America. I'll say it that way. I haven't been to too many other countries for me to say, well, that's how they treat men in France. That's how they treat men in Europe. I've never been over there, so I can't say. But as for me being in here in America, it's always, if I'm not a status quo, I mean, if I'm not above the, if I'm not somebody who's like one of the elite or somebody who has like a huge impact on society, if I'm not like something that has a bunch of money or something that's very entertaining or something that everybody knows about, I don't really get that whole forgiveness or the care. You know what I'm saying? Like, prime example, one thing I can say, what I like Charlamagne the God does, he's been constantly doing this a lot, which was he said everybody needs to go to therapy. People need to go to therapy. He's been pushing that a lot. I don't know if y'all caught on to that.
Mental health days, taking care of your mental.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm scared. I ain't gonna lie. I'm scared of that.
Huh?
I ain't gonna lie. I'm scared of this therapy because there ain't no telling what's wrong with me, and I ain't trying to find that out.
I don't
right
like
now.
the answers.
Oh, okay.
I don't like. I don't think I'm ready to hear. Because who knows?
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Wrong with
watch this. You have a little girl, right?
Yeah.
So in order to raise her properly, don't you got to find out what the heck that you need to do to get it right? Because she's gonna need you there for her emotionally. She's gonna need you to understand her emotions. Granted, we can't understand women, period, point blank. But at least have some type of empathy or sympathy towards it. You get what I'm saying? So that means you got to dig down within inside of you and see, okay, what happened to me? What do I know that happened to me? I can talk from my own personal point of view. I go to therapy. I'm okay with it. I'm glad that my family has been big. Like my grandmother, she was like, hey man, after my dad died, she was like, Darius, you need to go talk to somebody. But I'm like, Grandma, she said, you need to go talk to somebody. She said, because my stepdad died, then my dad died. I got diagnosed with, this is crazy. I got diagnosed with MS the same year my dad died. So it's like a whole, not the same year, but the year after. So it's like a whole bunch of stuff that's hitting me like this. And she was like, hey, you got to go sit down and talk to somebody. Otherwise, it's going to drive you crazy. Right? So eventually I did. And, I go to therapy now still. And I'm glad I do that because what happens when my lady has a son? All right. Kari's a 3-year-old young man. Okay. If I really want to help him grow into a better man, I got to go look at myself to make sure that I'm doing what I can to make sure that I am an example of a better man. You feel what I'm saying? To help, I got to teach him that, hey, listen, every woman ain't out here for you to hurt you, but every woman ain't out here for you to be and falling in love with. I don't want you to treat women crazy, but I also don't want you to be so hard towards women that you don't understand that there's a woman that's out here who might actually try to love you. You feel what I'm saying? Right. People do that, it's just something I had to, I'm glad I've been, like I said, I have my nephew looking at me. So I have my cousins, a lot of them are women. They're young women. And how can I help heal them or help make sure they're on the right path if I ain't heal myself? How are you good for somebody else if you ain't fixed yourself? Like if I want to lift you up, I can't lift you up if my leg's broken. I ain't got no base. What am I gonna do?
Yeah, that's true.
So
man, as I look at it, that's a real way to break it down. That's something that crossed my mind.
It took a while for me to get used to it because I'm like, I don't want to tell you all my problems. I'm dumping all this on you. Who the hell you gonna go talk to? That's the first thing out of my head. And then like this is, you feel what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's the question for me. I'm like, man, how I cope with it though. I listen to other people's situations, and truth be told, half the time I don't even think my problem is worse than somebody else. So I think that's what keeps me at bay and even made us even have this conversation to think about other stuff. But I'm a compassionate person. You know, I have empathy and empathy and everything else because I know somebody else has it far worse than I do. So it's pretty much one of those, you know, pick yourself up out of bootstraps mentality. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm a trooper. I figured out a way, and I don't ever want my baby girl to look at me as a monster. So I always keep that in mind. I'm not going to yell at you. And if I do, I'm going to apologize about it because I'm like, I had no business doing it. You're a human being. I don't like people yelling at me, so I'm not going to yell at you. Now, my best bet is, you know, to treat you the way that I want to be treated. With kindness, respect, decency, and so forth and so on. And I'm going to get my help. Because I'm like, this therapy thing is something new that people are hearing about. And I'm like, look here, black folks ain't never had no help. We ain't never had no help when it comes to our mental stability, especially dealing with everything we deal with today. So it's going to take some baby steps to figure out what is wrong with us so that we can correct it. Because our situation is not just events that happen to us in our personal time. A lot of our situation is daily. It's historical. It's a lot of stuff that has happened that has been passed down to us by our parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents, and so forth and so on. So that's something that we have to look at and get addressed from that standpoint. Because therapy can only do so much if you have no clue what has happened in the past. At that point, we're just talking about you, and we're not talking about the system that made those things happen to you.
Right. No, which I understand. Well, my thing, like I said, I know the system is broken. I know at a point I'm broken. But what I can fix is me.
Yeah.
I can't fix, I probably could fix the system piece by piece with help from everybody else around me. But personally, I gotta fix me first. You know, and like you said, a lot of black people, they always it's sad to hear so many black people say, you need to go to therapy, and then the first thing come out of black folks' mouth, you ain't crazy. What therapy got to do with crazy?
Because that's what we do now. Anytime you've ever seen something about therapy, it's a picture of somebody sitting on the couch and just laying it all out, and somebody trying to convince you that either you are crazy,
I'm not
crazy.
that open. I'm not.
Yeah, I ain't that open. And I think that's just our little perspective.
I'd rather go work, you know, and push it on the back burner. You know how I do.
I watch this. So we were just talking about being prepared for somebody you want to love. If you don't know how to talk now, if you can't grasp the concept of talking now, when you're in love with this person who you want to be your life partner, if you don't know how to talk, and when you have something you're dealing with, and this person is trying to get into you and find out what's going on, and you don't talk to them, you're going to end up shutting that person out. And when you shut them out, you open up doors for division in your relationships.
Well,
not even just, hold on, listen. It's not just your intimate relationship with your significant other. It's also your friendships, your relationships with your family. Somebody is always trying to reach out, but if you don't take that, that step to learn how to speak, you ain't gonna never get it out. So my biggest thing is like, because I have this mindset, like, hey man, like, because I grew up, my dad, he ain't talk about a lot of this stuff. My stepdad ain't talk about a lot of stuff. My granddad ain't talk about a lot of stuff. Them jokers ain't talk about a lot. So of course I'm following the suit. But then them jokers ain't have, exactly. But them jokers didn't have this situation that I had put on in front of me. When my situation hit me, everybody looking at me like, man, people wondering, are you gonna, they're looking at me because I ain't talking about it. You all right? I ain't talking about it, but on the inside, I'm dying.
Hey, I picked up the habit of even talking to myself. Like, you know what, self you do. Self don't even trip.
I'm good with self-reflection, and if I am in, I have no problem opening and talking. Whether I'm pretty good at taking the emotion out of things and just telling what's going on in my mind then and there, I have no problem with that.
But you get what I'm saying? It's something we got to work on as a people. Especially, like I said.
I'll hit you up and talk to you.
I know you hit me up. I'm okay with being a therapist. I have to learn.
I wouldn't say
I don't know. You don't like it because I make you.
I'm gonna bet it.
Yeah. You don't like it. You don't like it because I make you look at the mirror. You be like, I don't want to talk about that. Hey, it's what we listen. So for a flower to grow properly, for any plant to grow properly, that if you're taking care of it, you got to prune it. You got to get rid of the dead stuff. You got to get rid of the past, which is the dead stuff. You got to acknowledge it. It's here. It happened. All right. Move forward.
For the record, we are plants.
I'm good at moving forward.
No, listen to what I said. Acknowledge it. See how it affected you. Fix it, and then go forward. The problem is we all do this. Like it didn't happen. Like, bro, that happened. And subconsciously,
that shit really happened. All right, we keep moving.
But listen.
The quick look. Point A to point B, straight line. Keep going.
Right. But then here it is. Like I said, the thing is, subconsciously, something happened to you and it bothered you. And then when that stuff happens again, you end up handling it in a different manner. That's not something that's becoming of you. It's not who you really are. But because that traumatized you or it bothered you and affected you that way, you like, your reaction is different than what it should be. Like, I can use me for example. Like me fighting. The first time I got in not my first fight, but when I got kicked out of college and the first time I went to school, I got kicked out, got in a fight with a white boy. I'm one of those people that's like, I'll hold something to the bitter end, right? I'll hold to the bitter end. So I was angry as hell with a lot of stuff going on. Got in a fight with a dude. I got arrested, went to jail for a day or whatever. And the first thing I told myself when I walked in that jailhouse was, I will never fight again. That's literally what I told myself. When I got in the Navy, once again, I hate to be this way, a white boy tried me.
Oh, we were just talking about that. We were just talking about that.
I had to put them paws on you.
No, listen. In boot camp, I said, I got up, I walked over there towards him, and people came from the back of the compartment. You already know how it's built. They came from the back of the compartment trying to stop me. And I said, no, don't worry about it. I got real close too. I said, don't worry about it. I was hot. I walked off. I was mad. And then it hit me. Darius, what did you say you wasn't going to do? I was like, oh, shoot. I went to the dude. He came to apologize to me. I said, no, I'm sorry for letting you get me angry. It threw him for a loop. He was like, what? I'm like, it's something I made a promise to myself about. I acknowledge that I have an issue with anger. Mm-hmm. And I told myself I would not let my anger take me to this point. And I almost let it win again. You see what I'm saying? Like, I almost let it win. I had to acknowledge it. I had to acknowledge what the issue was. The issue wasn't him.
The issue was me. I'm supposed to be a big person, man. Hey, Brandon, you remember Herschel, right?
Herschel who? Walker?
No. I know what you're talking about.
Hey, you remember Herschel, right?
I do.
So, man, we was in Kingston, and you know he brought that point up, and I'm like, man, we gotta get better at letting stuff go. This is something I never let go. I'm 28 years old. This happened when we was in third grade. It's year 2000. Hey, look here, player. That's 20 years I done held on to this. But I had done come home, come to school from going to the dentist. I had been to school all of 50 minutes. That's including going to check into the office, making it to the classroom, drop my stuff off, going to the restroom, making it back to the classroom, which was right across the hall. I was in Jared Kerr's mom's class. And by the time I made it back from the restroom and sat down and started doing my work, I had a referral being ready for me. I didn't know it was a referral at one time. I just thought she was calling me to tell me, another piece of paper to do. I look over the referral. Herschel said I was trying to get him for swerving. And in my logical mind, I'm only 65 pounds soaking wet. I have no clue how I was able to try and give old Herschel a swerving. And Miss Curtin asked a question. So I got two white folks. I ain't never let this go about. I'm like, I don't understand how my little bitty self was able to try and give you a swerve. First of all, I ain't that strong. I'm strong, but I'm not that strong. Mm-hmm. And as you sitting here talking about this, I'm like, you know what, man, I'm gonna have to let that one go because, I don't understand how I've been holding on that little bit of anger for a long time. And I'm like, look, we got all these little racing action. I was so mad at Miss Kirk, and I'm like, you're an adult. You're supposed to ask a question. You're supposed to investigate. And the first thing you did was take somebody's word for what they said. I was seeing it so much, man. I'm just like to the point, like, man, I have no faith in people.
No, that's America.
Yeah, I'm like, man, I was so heated about that, bro. 20 years later, I was still mad about that.
Now here it is. Once again, like I said, this all plays. See, all this emotional stuff plays a factor with objectifying women.
I just said we got to work on that. So work on treating them where they need to be treated.
So you got to.
But who we gonna talk? Who we gonna talk to about that?
We not. But the thing is, you see how we started this. Look, Key, we may not do therapy. We may not ever do therapy. But at the same time, you do. We're not talking about you. We said me and Key.
Hey, wait.
We here to have this conversation.
Wait, I got something for you. I was just about to say, right now, we are having therapy. You got to think about it like this. So, like you said, you was carrying that anger for all this time, right? Let me show you how I see things. When you hold on to it for too long, picture it as packing a bag, right? You want to go out of town, right? You want to get on the plane and you put your bag on the thing, and they like, oh, you put your bag on the scale, and you like, all right, cool. Do look at your bag. Hey man, it's 100 pounds. You can't get on the plane with that 100-pound bag. You got to let that stuff go. So now you sitting up here like, dang. Now you thinking to yourself, I should have sorted this out before I got here. That's the same thing of when it comes with you being involved with a woman. How much of your stuff you done carried in here with you? It's holding you back from being who you're supposed to be. It's holding you back from who you want to be. You know, if you want to, like, it's like I want to jump to the roof, right? And the only way I can drop to the roof is if I lose 50 pounds. So I got to go lose them 50 pounds in order for me to jump to that roof.
We can't carry baggage. They can't carry baggage.
Listen, I ain't talking about them.
Nobody carry no baggage, B.
And that's the hard part. But you do got to give everybody the fair share. Listen, you can have your past experiences. You can remember them, but don't let the past experiences affect what you have coming in the future. Because what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and
expecting the different results.
Right. So you don't want to fall into that. But
right.
Still, you want to have that.
If you do it from the point of, you know, I always believe that life experiences in the past are tools that you can use to go towards your future.
Right.
So in the past, like with me, prime example, I'll use another example with me bodybuilding. The thing that had it for me to be able to change my body, you know, it was good that I was working out because me working out was a good base to start with, period. But then now I have to change my learning, not because listen to what I'm saying. I had to change my learning, not an aspect of I don't know how to work out, but I don't know how to work out this way for bodybuilding. I know how to get strong, but do I know how to get my body carved up? Mm-hmm. That's a whole different ball game. You know what I'm saying? It's you know, so you take your life lessons, all right, like boom, this girl broke my heart. So what happened when she broke your heart? What took place when your heart was broken?
I turned into a vampire.
This boy is stupid. I'm dead.
I turned into a vampire. I should have been on the vampire diaries. I shut it off and I went on a rampage.
Watch this. Look, I'm gonna sit back. What my my waiter at? I need my waiter so I can get my check so I can go home. I can't deal with this foolery right now.
I know that feeling.
I'm dead serious. I shut it off and I went on a rampage. Everything was getting played in the pack.
You remember Derek Jones was there? My little look, we was drunk Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
I had to go to work the next day.
Help me through my depression.
He supported it then.
Support me. Support me during my depression. I'm going through it the way I do it.
But my thing was, you know, I kept thinking to myself, man, I want to be, like I said, for me, it's always thinking about the future, man. I always think about the future and how I can make myself better in the future. You get what I'm saying?
Always. Yeah.
That's why I'm like, hey, man, you know, when it comes to objectifying women, I have to make a personal decision to make me better. You know what I'm saying? Once I recognize the problem, now I can fix the problem. You can't fix what you don't know. You riding around with a car, somebody you don't know let's say you know how sometimes we drive around and somebody come up to you, hey man, your tie flat. Oh shit, I didn't even know. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I said that. Oh, I say that. We gotta, you know, like I said, man, we gotta stop objectifying women. We gotta do it on a personal level. You know, make it a personal thing. We'll be all right once we make it a personal thing, man. So
See, now that's gonna be hard for a whole lot of fellas because you know what I'm saying. At this point in time, we just gonna be men. We're gonna do how men do.
I'm not.
As long as we have all of these variations of melanation and all these body types, and some of them, man, you just can't help yourself. We just gonna be real. But man, if she got a Judy behind her, somebody gonna look. Somebody just might be me at times. But I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna be quiet and do that little quick turn around real quick.
listen,
Keep it going.
you ain't hear me say. You listen to what I'm not telling you not to look at the women. Listen, I tell women this all the time. I say, how y'all gonna tell men not to look at other women when
You look at other men and women.
I see it like that. I put it like this. I put it.
They cheating at that point.
I put it in this category. I put it in this category for you. I say, just because I got a car over here, don't mean I can't look at other cars. Y'all act like we gonna go up. I ain't say. Listen, I have 2 vehicles I own, right?
Yeah.
I look at new cars all the time. Now ask me if I go to a dealership to go get a new one.
Not at all.
Ask me if I ain't even trying to rent one. I don't even want it. You feel what I'm saying? You know, that's how I compare. That's why I tell them. It's like, listen, just because a man looking at a woman doesn't mean he automatically thinking about having sex. He might look at this man, she got a big butt, and be done. That's a lot of us here. We pretty much done after that first look. She look good. All right.
Still for safety measures. Just shut the fuck up. Don't say nothing.
Hey, I mean, it is what it is. Because it ain't like you finna go tap on the shoulder to get a number. Like, I feel like, man, that's what the creator was just did. It gave you something. It's like the flower. Yeah, I got flowers in my garden right now, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I see me a nice set of roses. I got a rose right here in my yard, but I'm gonna look at them roses like, man, that's a nice rose. I got some nice roses too, but that's a nice rose. I mean, it is what it is. And I'm like, we ain't trying to sexualize you or nothing like that or make you like this sex symbol, but it's simply admiration. And I noticed that women do get upset about that. Like, I can't admire how you look. I can't, none of that. Like, it ain't like somebody trying to come lay in your bed and rub in your weed. But at the same time, guys, I'm just admiring. Like, hey,
right.
Have a good day.
And some men can't look at other women because that temptation inside of them is too good. You know what I'm saying? Like they be like, all right, I'm gonna go talk to her. So some men I met some men say I won't even look at them because I know my temperament. But that comes from you knowing who you are. You got to look inside of you, man.
And we go back to that topic of figuring out who you are.
So there it is. It's all connected. But the thing is, everything is pretty much connected to how we view things. You know what I'm saying? It's all connected. That's why I say all these topics, we have a lot of topics, but if you look at it, they all connected to how we view things. They all connected to it. Our past, our culture, our personal lives. They all impact how we view women. Like you said, back in the day, with the music we was listening to, the music videos we see, what's that music video? Tip Drill. I seen Tip Drill
BET After Dark.
Uncut. Man, Uncut. After I seen that, I was like, man.
Boy, look at here.
I'm just being honest, bro. Let's be honest, bro.
I'm a little kid sneaking into the living room, using our neighbors.
Boy, that was that video right there, man. That was something different. And that might have had a whole lot to do with that because we stopped wanting the school girl after. If you wanted the school girl, even after all that other stuff, after the Tip Drill video, you ain't want a school girl no more.
Like, and then I grew up in Miami, so we got all the food and all them people down there. So I wanted, as a kid, I was like, man, even like a few years back, I was like, man, I want to throw me an old school pool party with Uncle Luke music with a bunch of women.
Can't do that no more.
Is that you right? Can't? No, I don't know.
I ain't risking shit. I don't want no.
Y'all stay where y'all at.
Y'all stay where y'all at.
Ain't no Me Too movie. You ain't gonna Me Too me. No, you ain't gonna Me Too me at all.
But watch this. when I sit back and look at how you got videos of women, uh, they're like that, and then they're having multiple kids, multiple baby daddies. And when she finally sees who she is and what she's doing work, it's like, oh, I want to settle down. And then it's like you get guys who's single with no kids in that same age group, whether it be 30, 40, 50, it can be 20. And then it's like, I don't want to settle down with her. You know what I'm saying?
It's talking about my age. I feel you.
And some people like, oh, that's just wrong. How's that wrong? You know what I'm saying? Does he value what he wants? And like I said, it goes back to self-worth. It goes back to who yourself is. Some women recognize their worth early. Some take a little while. And then, like I told my lady, I was like, some women go ahead, even some men, we go ahead and we do some stuff, and then, it changes everything about who we are. So we view things the wrong way. We're being objective about everything. We're not like, hey, you know what? Let me learn this person for who they are. We're not like, looking at it from a different point of view. We only got our point of view, and that's just it. So, like I said, man, I think the biggest thing about objectifying women is a self thing, man. It becomes a self thing. Now you can continue what your granddaddy did, you can continue what your great granddaddy did, you can continue what your uncles did, or you can make that personal decision to be better. And I'm not saying that these guys were bad men. They just made different decisions. Mm-hmm. And then I also look at it for the standpoint of being in America, being the way we was taught. If you look at the how we taught about slavery, black men were just breeders. We were literally breeders. That's all we was doing, breeding. Working in the yard and breeding kids. That's all our job was. And so inherently, what do? We go and breed. We continue that. We can continue that same trend. It goes once again. I remember my dad told me this. It was a couple weeks before he passed away. He was like, "Man, sometimes I think about how I showed y'all so much. I didn't realize what I was showing y'all." He said, and all I did was show you what my daddy showed me. So now after him telling me that, it's like, are you going to show your child the same thing? Are you going to show your nephew the same thing? Are you going to show your younger cousins who are women the same thing? You will show these younger cousins that are men the same thing. So, of course, Darius being the oddball, I'm like, hey, man, look, okay, I don't think you should do it. Some people are like, oh, you just being you got to let them be a player while they're young. Oh, because you're not going to view women the right way. And then most of all, you're not going to view yourself the right way. I see it like this. You're going to give all these women, all of you, and then by the time you get to the one you want, you can't give her nothing.
Nothing else sacred at that point.
So like you said, with the women, with the self-healing, so many women that gave themselves away to so many men, so that by the time they meet one of us,
and they build a big ass wall as tall as the fucking Great Wall of China.
And I ain't about that climb in life. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
You gotta climb the Wall of China, then you gotta climb Mount Everest to try to get to the other side without any accessories. You don't have any accessories.
You forgot the defenses of the people attacking you. So when I say people attacking you, meaning she got all her defensive forces.
Oh yeah, and then you got the Mongols chilling right there, right after you cross the Great Wall of China.
That's my point.
You got one rusty blade. You got one rusty blade you got to come out here with.
By the way, we talk about the home girls. The Mongols are the home girls. So they, he ain't let him go. He got some business.
Right.
Help each other.
Even some of her past issues. You know what I'm saying? So she yelling at you because she used to yelling at people all the time, because that's what her relationships was.
I wish she would.
But listen to what I'm saying though. That ain't something that's your fault. It's something that she got to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So how many men out here yelling at women and talking to them any kind of way? Where did he learn that from? Did he learn it from his daddy? Did he learn it from his mama? Did he learn it from his granddaddy? You know what I'm saying? We got to see. That's why I keep circling back to, the fact that you got to look what's inside of you to see what makes you do this.
And like officially speaking, I think I've really only experienced one completely positive marriage relationship. So, and that wasn't until I was in the Navy.
I think the only one I know about is my great grandparents. Boy, they approaching on 100. You know, grandmama she's 88, and granddad just turned 98. So yeah, that's it.
I've only legit experienced one. So,
and I don't even know they full story. I just know, they stuck together during the time,
when they weren't supposed to. They
Yeah,
weren't
I
supposed to be
mean,
stuck together. They were supposed to have been done. They
yeah,
didn't.
they were. Ooh,
So like
turning down the studio.
I've been fortunate enough to see relationships that have gone through some stuff. I've been around them, and I've also been fortunate to see, like, I always refer back to my mom and my stepdad because that was my example I lived in. You know what I'm saying? That's the example I knew firsthand. So, my mom found, she knew her worth, but as she was in a relationship with my stepdad, they married or whatever. As she got older, she grew into understanding who she was. Listen to what I'm saying. She knew her worth, but then she started to learn who she was. And in that same aspect, my stepdad started to learn who he really was. He had to get comfortable with the fact of, he had sickle cell. And, growing up the way we grew up, how we taught, a man ain't nothing if he ain't working. But how can you be something when they tell you can't work?
I can't even. I don't know.
Like that.
I was surrounded by nothing but dysfunction.
No, I'm just.
I think most of them, yeah.
But listen to what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? He had to look inside of himself to figure out, what, that doesn't define me as a man. What defines me as a man is how I'm gonna approach life now with this new set of rules I gotta function around. How are you gonna function now as a man? He had his issues where he would take it out on us, but we brought it to his attention. And we would have the little family powwow. And it was crazy because it's like, as I get older now, I'm starting to realize, boy, I was a different kid from the beginning. Like when my stepdad was acting like that, of course I used to get mad, but as I got older, I started saying, man, we need to sit down as a family and talk. And she would look and say, okay, we'll sit down and talk. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? My mind was already thinking of like, hey man, how are we gonna be a family if we always arguing and fussing? What kind of family is that? You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I know we're gonna have our I don't believe that.
That's a normal Christmas where I'm from.
That's what I'm saying. That's like a normal everyday thing.
Christmas tree broken.
So we find the comedy in this, but that's a lot of dysfunction.
I mean, you gotta laugh about it. That's one thing I enjoy about comedy. Without a doubt, is the fact that you can bring up situations and laugh. Comedians.
The most intelligent people in the world.
Right. I trust comedians more than I trust politicians. You can talk about
that's it. That's obvious.
Because they talk about things that's going on that happened.
And I've come to the conclusion that the most intelligent people I know or I have seen are comedians. People think that because they're a clown, they're idiots, and they're like, no. If you listen to what they're saying, they are really intelligent people. They just prefer to laugh. They don't let life get them to the point where they get that crazily depressed or whatever. But even when they do, they still go on stage and make a joke about it because they let you know, hey man, it's not easy. But just because it's not easy don't mean you got to give up. It doesn't mean that you have to quit because it's not easy. You figure out how to deal with it the best way you can. And sometimes the best way is not always the way that you've been doing it. Sometimes you need to step out and try something different. You feel what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. It's crazy how we keep going back to family stuff and all these things.
Look, we just chilling. We doing some little therapy session.
But that's chilling.
And we talk about stuff, and it all correlates with each other. At the end of the day, everything is attached one way or another.
Yep.
Because DJ perspective is a perspective that I'm pretty sure I can say 70% of us are not privy to, because we haven't really met somebody in our lifetime that we knew were able to chill with, that had a family unit that could even sit down and talk to each other about, what we're going through as individuals. Most of ours are, hey, shut up and blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. So we have to learn how to block out how we feel, what we're going through. We have to learn how to block that out. And that's like
what I'm great at. I'm great at that right there.
Yeah, boy, Brandon
Great
don't
at
like
locking it up.
don't put Brandon in the spotlight, boy. That boy be ready to run from that spotlight.
Oh, got the Heisman,
Hey,
bro. I got that Heisman. No, not doing
hey,
it.
but I mean, we some traumatized people, man, and we do project that onto the
Everybody.
particular group that we saying that we want. I'm like, you know, and it oftentimes hurt people that we really care about because we are unable to show them how much we care. And yeah, man, it's just you think about it, man, from a different perspective. Like that's why I'm glad
I barely
you
fuck
on
with
this
my
cast
family as
right
it
now.
is. So,
And bro, that's terrible. That's really terrible, man. That you just don't fuck with your family. Like that's
it's like
terrible.
I feel closer and like more at home with my extended family. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And
That's why I hate I left the Navy, bro. That's the only reason why
I
hate
know. Look, they sent me an email like, you want to come back. I sent them an email back. Will you let all my boys come back together?
Hey, fact.
You let me get a duty station with all my boys. I'll be right there. I'll give up.
I understand, man. That I ain't gonna. I told somebody about that. I said when I got out of the Navy, they was like, well, "You miss the Navy?" I said, honestly, I don't miss the Navy. I miss the people.
Right.
I miss what I was doing. I don't miss the Navy, but I miss the people.
And you know, this whole past year I've been out, you know, been trying to find that homie feel.
You can't, because nobody is going through what you're going through at the exact same time.
Right.
Like while we were out there, man, we had a bull crap duty station 99% of the time because we black and that's what it is while we in there. Or we're out on the water, not being able to talk to none of our families, we're missing our kids, et cetera. No, we're going through the same thing. And like I was telling you before we really got this popped off, you know, they were classifying us as terrorists. And that bond that was made during that last couple of months, it was no longer friendship, that became family.
Right.
Because as we're all going through this and they extending us and they like, man, we can't talk to our family. We've been they done cut our comms off. We've been cut off for 2 months. The ship store ain't got no Gatorade. They out of Newport. We losing it at this point. In some kind of way, we was able to make it through. And I'm like, man, nobody out here comprehends what that was like. So it's really difficult to talk to people about exactly what it is you're missing outside of your, you know what I'm saying, in your life now that you're not in that environment.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's why we definitely got to link up because we got to keep that going.
I had a matter of fact, Brandon was with me the whole time about me finding out with me having MS. That nigga was there the whole time, the whole entire moment.
Yeah,
that nigga there the whole time. So it's like you said, he wasn't going through that, so he can't understand it. But what he did do was like, hey man, what's up? You all right? You know, everybody was around. You know, and it's one of those things where you sit back and think to yourself, man, it's crazy how no matter how much we try to make ourselves this isolated island, an island cannot function by itself. It needs a connection to somebody else. Because eventually, if you isolate yourself, eventually you're going to want to talk to somebody. Eventually, you're going to need somebody help.
Just go watch anime and learn about friendship and brotherhood.
Don't watch. Have me going back to go watch Wolfsbane, man.
Do not watch anime because they're gonna make you even more depressed because you're gonna be like, these niggas are super friends. Excuse my friends. These guys are super friends over here. Like, I'm gonna use an example. Like, maybe better talk about One Piece. That's Sanji arc. When Luffy said, I ain't eating nobody else's food until I eat yours. This man was fighting everybody for a week straight with no food until his homie came back and cooked for him. He was dead set on that. I said, well, that's a friend. That is a true friend.
While his family's just throwing him to the side. That's how it feels out here.
Right. His family ain't even care about him.
I know most people get that reference. It's all right if you made it this far.
Man, like military folks know, man, because whenever you come home, everybody wants you to come see them. And I'm like, how about y'all come see me? I'm on this for like a week. Come see me.
Listen, I used to be like, man, I'm driving. I used to drive home from Pensacola, dog. Me and Brandon talk about it because he'd be driving to Texas. I'm driving down to Miami.
Talking mad shit, man. Fuck this. I'm not trusting nobody.
Bro, that's why I never left Pensacola, bro. I said I'm staying here. Like, for real. I wouldn't leave.
his drive was 12 hours, mine 8 hours and 30 minutes. It ain't supposed to be that short, but it's 8 hours and 30 minutes.
Hey,
Audible. Miami.
Listen, but
bro.
the thing is, I did all this driving to get home. Why I gotta come and find everybody? Why y'all can't come to me? I did all the work.
You know where I'm gonna be at.
And that right there, you know, that's how I pretty much base like people who I really fuck with now. Those who were there for me during that time completely, you know, I fuck with them heavy, and
Hey man, ain't you supposed to be,
they made a way.
ain't you supposed to be curving your language?
I'm sorry, mama.
Hey, we gotta get that app. We gotta get one of them bleeping out. We gotta be able to bleep some of this stuff out.
I gotta get a button. I'm gonna just press it.
Facts. But yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, so well, that's all, man. I think we pretty much good, guys. I was hoping that somebody I posted it on my page. I sent a text message to my I sent in a let me see. I got a friend of mine who I wanted to get a woman's point of view about this whole objectifying women.
I mean, I could call my sister. She was just on it. Let me see.
And look, I'm on the Facebook fast because man, people toxic, and I can't be around sheep. I can't do that. I don't even want to be seeing what they got going on. So yeah, I had to get away from the whole boy. But, yeah, man. I wish I could get the homegirl that posed this question the first time. She was on the ship with us too, by the way. You know what I'm saying? A very aspiring artist. She's out of Dallas, and this was something that she asked. And I was like, dang, we need to get to the bottom of this.
Hey,
I get tired of folks saying,
what kind of music she into?
She does actually I can't even say that she does like just regular type of rap. It's like a neo soul type of.
Oh, that's listen. I want to support her. I want to be the first guy to. We got to put her on. I don't even know.
You can find her on Instagram. Her name is I Am Divine.
I ain't even gonna do all that. I ain't got Instagram like that.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. She got it on Facebook. I can't remember what her name is on Facebook. But
if she can send us some of her music, we could let her music play when we first start.
You know? But it's like she got this. I don't know what it is about Dallas female artists that take this kind of Erykah Badu wave as far as exploring who they are itself.
What you mean? Where's Erykah Badu from?
She's from Dallas, but I don't want like Erykah. You know Erykah Badu. No.
Hey,
so
wait a minute before you start this. This young man has a music Rolodex. Okay, I'm just letting you know.
I mean it, but here's the thing. So you know what influenced Erykah. You know she was with she got a hold of that 5% of nation stuff. You know what I'm saying? The knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Teaching self-guidance, and you know what I'm saying, that God is within you and not in the sky. That's what she picked up. Well, she has a similar outlook. Now, most female artists from Dallas, they ain't spitting it. You know, they spitting that, popping that P and effing over such and such. That's what they talking about. But with her, she has her own art form that is separate from whatever else the rest of them are doing. And she been catching waves like left and right because she has found who she is as an individual. She knows that God is within her. She knows that, and her music projects that, and it's dope. Like point blank, it's dope.
That's dope because I as you saying it, I'm like, man, it's crazy how like that. The truth is, like when people talk about God, they always looking in the sky. And it's like He said that we are made in His image and His likeness, and it also said that the Spirit, the Holy Ghost, dwells within you already. So Erykah Badu is absolutely right. You got to look inside of yourself to find. Sometimes, like you said, sometimes the guidance is inside of you. You just got to take the time to look inside of yourself to figure out what's right and what's wrong. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And a lot of people don't want to do that. But yeah, man, I want to get her music, man, so we can put her music on our stuff, man. I don't know. I'm not saying we're gonna take off. I'm not saying we not. I don't know what's gonna happen. But at least I want to put that artist in front of us so we can say, hey, this is us. I want to put aspiring artists out there. You know, I want to use our platform to help other people. Now, granted, I'm gonna telling everybody right now, I ain't giving you no commercial. Sorry, we ain't here for that. We here just chilling.
Yeah.
But I will wear your clothing. I will wear your clothing if it's something that I support. I will wear it. And if your music is dope, we will play it in the beginning and we will play it in the end.
Yes.
I guess I shouldn't talk about supporting the OnlyFans, huh? I'm just joking.
Yep.
No, we should we need to go ahead and get this subscription thing going, and we just gonna be just chilling with our OnlyFans account. Whenever we do this podcast, we just chilling on OnlyFans.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. Let's do it. Let's just start putting content out there. Look, I'm saying,
pause.
I'm about to be grilling. I'm about to be grilling in my Superman robe.
Listen, hold on. Wait. Listen. We got to talk about this offline because now we're going too far. We got to go offline for that.
Are we though?
Wait.
Are we though?
We keeping that PG. That's like PG-6 at this point. It ain't PG-13. My son can listen to this. Cause we ain't doing nothing crazy on OnlyFans. Talking.
No, listen to what I'm saying. You got to be careful on OnlyFans because what happens when you got this guy and he pop up on the camera and he over there getting off. He's like, wait a minute, this is not what we signed up for. This is not what we signed up for. That's why I said that.
Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Hello. Hey, you on the podcast, so we got some questions for you. Can y'all hear it?
Oh no.
I just wanted you to reiterate your feelings about women being objectified while we're here because we're coming on the tail end of it. What did you say? I couldn't quote it verbatim. I don't want to make you a liar.
What did I say about it?
Yeah.
What was this question again about women being objectified?
Right. And let me give a disclaimer real quick. So my sister is a very educated, beautiful black queen who was a nurse. You know, she got her own shit. She don't need no man. That's right, black queen. Okay, so go ahead. What were you saying?
I mean, in this day and time, is that even a thing? Women objectify themselves. Look at Instagram.
And OnlyFans. We were just talking about that.
Huh?
And the OnlyFans. We were just talking about that.
And in the OnlyFans, that even a thing. That's all you see is thirst traps. Even on Facebook, thirst traps. So,
Wow.
That's just my opinion on it. This is a different time. I don't. Not that it's right. Women
I don't even know if that's an opinion. I don't even know if that's an opinion at this point. She spoke truth.
The likes. All of that. So. Anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Ask her, does she have Zoom?
Do you have a Zoom? No, she's in the car.
I'm in the car.
I got it on the phone.
Zoom, but I'm in the car.
She has it, but she's in the car. She's driving.
I just wanted her to hear me talking.
They're saying something.
Yeah. What you said?
We wanted to get more of her point of view.
They want to get more of your point of view. We don't have women's side. We talked about the man side and how ours stimulates some probably past traumas, because dudes don't go to therapy, etc. You're gonna watch it, so true. I'm not gonna tell it all to you.
That's true, but that's everybody. That's men and women. We all have trauma that people are just now becoming aware of how important your mental health really is, especially in the black and brown community. We think you just need God and all that. No, sometimes you need help. Okay. You need help. So anyhow. Are y'all finished with the podcast?
We're finishing up now. I haven't uploaded yet. You're on it right now.
I wish you were here. I wish we could see your face to be interacting with us.
I don't know how you sound.
You sound like you calling in. That's what you sound like.
He said you sound like you calling in.
Huh?
He said he sound like you calling in.
On the radio?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, but what do they think about what I said?
What do y'all feel? How do y'all feel about what she said?
I think she.
Go ahead, DJ.
I think she
Are they
said,
surprised that a woman said that?
No, we actually we need that support.
We need your support.
Because.
Do you agree or disagree with me?
I agree with you.
I agree.
We all agree.
Yeah, I concur, be the one to say it. Okay. Yeah, they just don't sit there and say we being toxic men.
It's gonna be interesting to watch.
We just making sure they don't say we're toxic men out here. That's all we want.
Right. That's all we wanted. Because we always.
The ones that say that, go look at their IG, social media pages, and then get back at me. And I'm a woman. I'm an attractive woman. Okay. I'm not for being objectified, and men do it to me a lot. I'm a nurse; they do it to me at my job, but I'm not giving you permission, or I'm not walking around nude. I'm in scrubs, and you being disrespectful. That's it. But when you put yourself out there like that, you can't get upset about the response you receive. You're supposed to still, I think it's Jamie Foxx or somebody who did a set on their comedy show about that. You're doing it to yourself. So anyway.
Well, we're all nodding in approval.
We like her already.
Coming to my TED Talk or whatever.
We'll put you.
All right.
Hey, listen. Hey, listen.
I'm silly.
Hey,
joking.
After when she off again?
The interview.
They say when you off again, we're gonna have to schedule you to get on this.
I gotta work the next 3.
No, we'll set up something for next week. We'll find a new topic and have you come in.
We're gonna have to have a part 2 on this.
Fun. Because you said I can do it with Zoom, with the Zoom app.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Or you can come over. We can sit on the couch. Do something.
Okay.
I was drinking today. Some cigars.
You were drinking?
Yeah.
Here he go. Off topic
name,
again.
Nori, whatchamacallit, what's his called? Drinking something. His podcast.
Oh, Drink Temp. Drink Temp.
Anyway, okay.
Drink Temp. All right.
What'd you say?
They say drink Temp.
Yes. Yeah.
But all right then. You gonna come over and do your thing? Come over and do your thing.
No, I got it. I did it with my
All right.
All right. Nice to meet you guys, even though I didn't meet you.
She said nice to meet you.
All right.
Next time. All right.
Bye. All right. Well, so we might as well go ahead and close this session out.
Hey,
thanks.
We just chilling. That's all we do.
Just chilling.
We just chilling.
Episode 1.
We trying to get closer to our dreams.
We'll be there.